Hello everyone, Vic here with another video talking about the Friday 13th franchise. Today we're ranking all the heroes, heroines, protagonists of the series from worst to best. If you like this video, like the channel, please hit the like button and subscribe. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers, the ultimate steady marching goal to 1,000 subscribers. And happy early Friday 13th. We're coming up on Friday 13th very soon here, June 13th. Thus, all the Friday 13th videos. We'll have some more with Friday 13th coming up. Also, coming up with more Halloween videos as well. Today, though, we're talking top 10 protagonists. Let's get to the list. Okay, let's begin with number 12, my least favorite protagonist, hero-heroine combination in the series. No question about it, was the easy choice for me. It's Laurie and Will from Freddy vs. Jason. Now, listen, Freddy vs. Jason has a lot of fans. I understand. It's a fun movie. I'm a fan as well. Nick Arcana, not a big fan, but I do like Freddy vs. Jason a lot, especially particularly the last 45 minutes. Once you get Jason into the dream world, all hell breaks loose. Rumble in the jungle, in the dream world, rumble inside the real world between Jason and Freddy. I love it. Freddy kicking Jason's ass for most of this end fight scene. But there is a weakness, a big weakness in the movie Freddy vs. Jason. Something maybe could have been squared away in the script process. I know that, of course, that when you're writing this movie, it's a hard thing to get right because how the hell do you get Freddy vs. Jason in the same universe? How do you get this to make sense? So a lot of attention was on that. And I think maybe with the focus on that, we were shortchanged on the human characters. Thus, the most unlikable, the most annoying, the most in your face, get off my screen, I don't care if you live or die, protagonist in the series is Will and Laurie from Freddy vs. Jason. Now listen, there's been a lot of hate on Monica Keena over the years. Now listen, I am not against Monica Keena, the actress herself. I'm actually a fan of old school Monica Keena. I'm a fan of hers from back in the days of Dawson's Creek. Not to say that I was every single Wednesday night, 8 p.m. on the WB, watching Dawson's Creek religiously. Shout out to Pacey Joey, not a Dawson Joey fan. But that said, Monica Keena was great on that show. Other things I've seen her in, she's been fine. But something about her performance here in Freddy vs. Jason just did not do it for me. She has a sort of crying face in every scene. She's always about to cry or crying. Didn't connect with her character emotionally. Didn't care about the whole backstory with her mom and Will and her dad getting Will sent away to the the mental place. But I don't know. It didn't do it for me. And then Will himself also again annoying, makes a lot of annoying facial expressions throughout the movie. The two of them together, I never got invested. Never really cared for them at all. In fact, to be honest, I probably like Kelly Rowland's character more than both of them. I liked Will's friend who gets killed by Freddy. I thought he was a more interesting character as well. So you could take two uninteresting characters and then you kind of shoehorn them into the whole Freddy vs. Jason ending. We're getting this epic fight scene. Freddy battling Jason all over the place, man the torpedoes. They're fighting on the dock. Freddy gouging out Jason's eyes. Jason beating the hell out of Freddy. All this stuff going on. And here comes Monica Keena and Will, played by Jason Ritter, come in to interfere in the fight, think they're saving the day, going against Freddy, helping Jason get the win. But really, at the end, I was just extremely annoyed. Watching all the Final Destination movies, it's interesting to see how Final Destination has got the formula right, where they give you likable characters, and they kill off all those likable characters. And here in Freddy vs. Jason, we're getting unlikable characters who get to live, get to save the day. Jason won. Who won? Freddy, Jason, or did just, Laurie and Will, did they win? I don't know, but the audience lost by having these two as our main characters. So the bottom of the barrel, bottom of my list, Laurie and Will, number 12. Number 11, let's go to the Friday 13th reboot, remake. I don't know what it is. It's a sequel, it's a remake, it's a reboot, it's everything all in once. 2009 Friday 13th. You got the guy from Supernatural, which is I say because that's Nick Arcanda's favorite show is actually Supernatural. So got him here in the same calendar year. He did this movie. The other guy from Supernatural did the My Bloody Valentine remake. So they're both branching out into horror remakes. Platinum Dunes, I guess, were huge Supernatural fans. That said, didn't care for the main guy here in the reboot. Didn't care for his sister. I did care for Jenna. Jenna was the third odd man out in this triangle of protagonists. Unfortunately, she would be an untimely demise, in my opinion. Should have been the final girl of the movie, but was taken out way too soon by Jason, leaving us with a brother sister combination. Kind of similar to the Freddy vs. Jason thing, where I didn't care about these characters then. I didn't care about them beating Jason. I didn't care about their survival. By the end, the job of the protagonist is for you to be on their side to a point of where you don't want to see them die. You want to actually see them defeat Jason. I was cool with Derek Mayer's Jason from this movie, just taking them out, kill them both, move on, do the first series, do one of these sequels where Jason wins, and we just move on to the next one, the new group of characters. Didn't care for them at all. Not necessarily due to the performances per se, but the writing, the shoehorning of the sister into basically the guy and Jenna really being the main final two. I didn't care for it. All right, let's go to number 10, and we're talking Jason X. Listen, I like Brodsky. I like the main girl hair. Cam, the cyborg robot girl. I think she's a fun character too, and I like her taking on Jason. Once you get to Uber Jason and you get to the final characters and just the spaceship stuff, there's nothing wrong with these characters. I don't hate these characters. I just they weren't memorable to me. They didn't stand out to me. What stands out about Jason X probably is the setting, the comedy, and then Uber Jason and Jason himself. So I just think the protagonist really added anything to it, but there was nothing wrong with it. They didn't do a bad job performance wise. The character Melissa probably was the best human character in the movie, but unfortunately she gets like sucked into space pretty brutally at one point. So, and that was the end of my connection to the protagonist. All right, let's go to number 9, and we're going to talk about Renie and her boyfriend from Jason Takes Manhattan. Now, Renie originally, there was a lot of actresses who tried out for this role, including Pamela Anderson and Elizabeth Berkley, who's Jessie from Saved by the Bell. And I'd have been so excited to see her in this role. The actress who plays Renie, though, I mean, she does a good job, but again, it's a character and a performance, and it's two protagonists who I find myself just not caring about, not emotionally invested. Didn't really buy their chemistry as a couple per se. With the guy on his side, he has a whole storyline with his dad about him not wanting to become, not wanting to become a shit person, wanting to do his own thing. It seems like there's some tension there, but there's no payoff to that storyline. His dad just gets killed in the middle of the movie, and there's really no payoff to that. Again, standout characters in this movie actually for me are Julius and then Kelly Hu's character, who unfortunately gets choked out in the disco room by teleporting all over the place, Jason. I would have liked those characters to survive until the end, and that would have actually made a better climax for me. But again, nothing similar to the Jason X characters, though. I don't hate these characters, just no emotional connection. Didn't feel like they were in the stronger half of the protagonist in the series. All right, going to number 8, and this is going to be Friday 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. We have Pam, we have Tommy Jarvis, we have Reggie the Reckless. Reggie the Reckless is fantastic. To have a sort of child teen as one of the protagonists, it does work in these movies. We've seen it with Jamie Lloyd. We've seen it work with Tommy Jarvis himself in Friday 13th Part 4. And it works here with Reggie. Reggie is fantastic, resourceful, runs faster than all the adults, which alone makes him a smart slasher movie person, because sometimes the adults in these movies, they're getting chased by a psycho killer and they're just jogging very casually. I know that maybe they don't want to outrun the camera, so there's like a technical reason not to run that fast, but realistically, if you see Jason in The Master, even if it's Roy, you see Jason or Michael or whoever, you're going to turn the burners on and run faster than you've ran all your life, maybe the fastest you've ran since 7th grade gym class, and Reggie does it here. The problem with the movie's the protagonist is that, to me, this is the worst portrayal of Tommy Jarvis. No real knock of the actor. There's just that Tommy is written very odd in this movie. He's going through this trauma, of course, of what happened in the events of Part 4. He's kind of a mute now. He's not really talking, kind of like Jamie Lloyd from Halloween 5. But throughout the movie, they have him as be kind of like a badass. Like he gets in these fights and he breaks out the Jason Bourne, John Wick fighting skills and looks like he can really handle his own. But then at the end, when confronted by Jason himself, he just stands there for 11 minutes. Jason, no. Please, Jason, don't stab me. And, Jason, of course, this is Roy, but still walks up on him after 11 minutes and says, damn, this is the easiest kill of my life. I thought this dude would fight back, run, do anything. He's just gonna sit there and let me stab him, and he does. I realized that eventually Tommy snaps out of it and helps Kilroy, but I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of this portrayal of Tommy Jarvis. And then Pam, I don't mind Pam, but again, no real connection to her. If anything, I felt like the guy who ran the clinic was set up as the main adult character, and then sort of they never really follow up with him. He just kind of dies off screen unceremoniously. So I wasn't a huge fan of Pam, or Tommy Jarvis, but I do like Reggie the Reckless. But again, not a standout, so not going to be top of the list here. Okay, going to number 7, and this is going to ruffle some feathers. I know I'm about to get some hate mail for this, but this is just my opinion. Number 7 on the list of top protagonists in the series. That's right, Alice from the original Friday the 13th. I know this is sacrilegious because Alice is loved by so many, and I just don't understand. I don't get when you watch the original Friday the 13th. I don't see at what point you actually develop any kind of connection towards Alice. She's one of many characters in the movie. She has one or two scenes where it kind of focuses on her, but there's no character development. There's no real character here. There's not much going on. And then she's thrown in this fight with Miss Voorhees, and she does survive, shows her survival instincts, although she immediately trusts Miss Voorhees, which seems weird. If you see a Jeep pull up and you're suspecting there's a killer out there, why would you think that you're safe just because it's a human being that pops out? I know it's unsuspecting Miss Voorhees, but Betsy Palmer, but she trusts her very, very quickly. Just wasn't a huge fan of the first one. The second movie, listen, great opening death scene. Props to the actress for coming back for the scene. But I mean, here today, gone tomorrow. She gets killed in the opening scene of Friday the 13th Part 2, and that's the end of Alice. I don't think she overstayed her welcome. I don't think she understayed her welcome. I think she's there, but I think that the final girls in the sequels tended to do a better job of giving us something to connect to. And again, it's not a knock on the performance. And listen, none of these are mostly knocks on the performances. Most of these are just knocks on the writing in terms of getting us to engage and emotionally connect with the character. I didn't connect that much with Alice as I would have liked, but still, she's still a pretty good final protagonist. All right, let's go to number 6, and this is the final the final trio, I'm going to say, from Jason Goes to Hell. Now, Jason Goes to Hell is one of those movies that's obviously very polarizing. A lot of people don't like it because you got body hopping Jason who's barely in the movie. You got the damn Necronomicon in here hinting at the idea that Jason might be a deadite. There's a lot of silly stuff going on here lore wise. But one thing that stands out about this movie, man, one thing that I wish they would have expanded upon was Creighton Duke. Creighton Duke, played by Stephen Williams, also very good on the old school TV show 21 Jump Street. Just a fun character with fun dialogue and really mysterious because he's hinting at the idea that, he's known Jason for a long time. When he sees Jason, he's like, remember me? And which obviously this movie can't be canon with the rest of the franchise because when would have Creighton Duke ran into Jason based on the timeline, at least the Paramount timeline? And also Creighton Duke knows everything about the mythology about Jason, including how to kill him. But I like Creighton Duke, and then I like the adult characters. I like the main couple here, Steven and his girlfriend, who is actually, I guess, Jason's niece. They seem like real human beings. Sometimes you get main characters that seem like they're there just to be main characters. They're just like they're not developed well. They have like sort of final girl traits, but these feel like real human beings having real human problems, adult problems, relationship issues, going through things, and they're thrown into this whole Jason situation. So I felt like the performances and the acting and the characters felt real to me. Steven, I think, is actually a standout in the series as a protagonist. Gets lucky as hell that Jason, when he comes back at the end, decides to beat the hell out of him instead of killing him. This whole fight scene in the playground is just Jason beating the shit out of him for 4 minutes instead of killing him. So he got very lucky there. But that notwithstanding, I do like them a lot. All right, we're going to go to number 5, hitting our top 5 now. The top 5 protagonists. These are all ones I enjoy. I like everybody in this top 5. So it's just a matter of figuring out how to rank them. So this is all going to be personal preference. Some maybe rank higher on your list than mine, but number 5, I'm going with Chris from Friday the 13th Part 3. I didn't really care for Chris throughout the movie. I didn't really emotionally connect with her character. Her boyfriend, Rick, to me was very annoying. I was actually happy to see him get his cranium crushed and then thrown through the damn window like a lawn dart. didn't care for his character, was happy to see Chris go out alone for Jason at the end. But the entire end chase scene with Chris and Jason is fantastic, and really, I think sets the bar high for chase scenes and Final Girl versus Jason sort of battles, and maybe only done better by the chase scenes in Friday the 13th Part 4, final chapter, but this one is amazing, I think. And Chris shows resourcefulness, is able to take out Jason. Also, I'm going to throw in the protagonist list. I'm going to throw Ali, too, because Ali sort of does come in for the save. I don't know, if you're sleeping and you wake up and you see Jason fighting a girl, it's heroic to jump in and, you know, um, try to take out Jason, but maybe have a better plan of attack than what Ali did. Is, hey, and Jason turns around, hacks his arm off, and then just gets to work hacking him to pieces. Gotta feel bad for Ali. Did a heroic thing, a good thing, only to be rewarded by getting hacked to pieces. But it did save the day in a way because that allowed Chris to, take advantage of distracted Jason and get the kill shot. So gotta give props to Ali here with Chris. One note about this, though, I do think I've said it long time. The final girl in Friday the 13th Part 3 should have been Vera. Vera was set up perfectly as the main girl. She's the most likable character in the movie, has the best backstory, the most character development. Her and Shelley would have been way more interesting as the final couple versus Chris and Rick. But I don't know. I guess they weren't thinking that deeply about the characters. But I would have loved to see it. Okay, let's go to number 4. And this is Tina from Friday the 13th Part 7, New Blood. RIP to Laura Park Lincoln, who passed away this year. As a kid, there was nothing cooler, nothing more surprising to me than seeing somebody fight back against Jason. Like, Jason is going through, at this point, 7 movies being a badass, taking out everybody. And here's somebody who not only fights back against Jason, but really kicks the crap out of him. Like, this whole last 20 minutes, outside eventually, of course, Freddy versus Jason, where we get that epic fight scene with Freddy versus Jason. Until then, this is probably, for a long time, this is my favorite last final 20 minutes in a movie outside of Tina's father coming back. We've talked about that before. Absolutely ridiculous. But Tina herself, uh, they put a lot of energy into her character. She gets a nice background setup of her having accidentally killed her father, her trying to bring her father back to life, bringing back Jason by accident. She's dealing with the doctor and her mom, who the doctor is trying to, I guess, use her for some kind of career gain. The mom just trying to figure out what's wrong with her, trying to help her. So you got a pretty good dynamic here with that. Her telekinetic, carrier-like powers, and there's just a good payoff once she sees Jason at the end, and they fight it off, and she's dropping houses on Jason and hitting him in the face with pot plants, making him fall through the stairs, electrocuting him, doing all this stuff, kicking Jason's ass. It's a fun end sequence, and Tina, if they had brought her back in future sequels, that'd have been welcome. Did a great job here. Okay, number 3, we're gonna go with our protagonist, hero, I should say, from Part 2, Friday the 13th, Part 2, Ginny and Paul. Listen, one of the reasons that I don't think Alice is that memorable is because Ginny comes in Part 2 and immediately makes you forget about Alice. Ginny is like sassy, cool, calm, maybe not cool, calm, collected, because she does actually urinate herself when Jason's around, which is kind of a weird scene, but she is calm, cool, sassy, sarcastic, has a personality. Again, like the characters in Jason Goes to Hell, Ginny feels like a real person. And then she puts up a damn good fight against Jason at the end. This is old sackhead Jason, which is more impressive than Alice, fighting Miss Voorhees. This is Jason, full-blown sackhead, running full speed, and Ginny outthinks him at several moments. Of course, the question is, where's Paul? Did Paul die? According to the writer, Paul is dead. Listen, don't shoot the messenger. I hope he's alive. I like Paul, but apparently he's dead. But these are two great characters for Part 2. I think they wiped the floor with Alice and Steve Christie from the original Friday the 13th. In fact, Friday the 13th Part 2 as a movie, I think, is just a better done movie than the original Friday the 13th. And a lot of that's because these two characters really help carry the ball forward and give us something to hold on to for sure. All right, let's go to number 2. My number 2 favorite protagonist duo, let's say, is going to be Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. Listen, this is my favorite version of Tommy Jarvis, Tom Matthews, who also Aladdin, Return of the Living Dead. And then Megan, of course, the sheriff's daughter. I think they have a fun dynamic, and if you're on board with their dynamic, that Megan's just sort of a carefree, fun teen girl, probably doesn't know what she's getting herself into, but it's just that they're along for the ride, basically, to have a fun, the most fun night possible. And then Tommy, dedicated to taking out Jason, dooms many, many, many people by bringing Jason back to life, digging up his body. Tommy Jarvis, you're responsible for a lot of deaths. But that said, then does the research, hits the books, realizes that you got to return Jason to his original resting place, and I just you gotta say these are two probably the most likable characters in the entire franchise, and they're here in the movie together. If they were in separate movies, they both could be their own separate final girl, final guy, but you got both of them in one movie. You really can't go wrong with that. So, and they give Jason a pretty fun ending here with the whole boat situation. So yeah, I would have loved to seen them be brought back for part 7 or part 8. Tommy Jarvis definitely should have been featured more in the series going forward, but if not, this was a good ending for him. Number 1 on the list. We're gonna go, obviously, this is pretty clear now where we're going with this one. We're doing Tommy Jarvis and Trish from Friday 13th, part 4, the final chapter. The favorite protagonist duo here. And it's because I think Trish is the best of everything in terms of her final girl feel, resourcefulness, likability, character development, how much she cares about her brother. There's scenes where you can tell she'd rather Jason chase her than her brother. She's willing to sacrifice herself for her little brother. I think that says a lot. That's a great character development for her. And then Tommy Jarvis, young Tommy Jarvis, Corey Feldman. It's a fun full circle moment for him to shave his head, uh, make Jason think of himself, think of little kid Jason, and then take advantage. And the way they kill Jason's fantastic, with Jason's head rolling down that knife with the great Tom Savini makeup effect. You just can't go wrong with these guys. And there was a third wheel here, which was Rob, but unfortunately, he was killing him. He's killing him. And Rob didn't make it to the end of the movie, but I mean, it would have been cool if Rob was there too at the end as well. But you got Trish, you got Tommy Jarvis. You can't go wrong here. That's the number 1 on the list. Again, if you like this video, please subscribe. Let me know in the comments who are your favorite protagonists or your least favorite protagonists. Most of the lists are people that I like. There's only a few on the list I actually generally dislike. So it's basically ranking the ones I like, and most of them I do like. I think compared to other series, I do think Friday the 13th does have more likable protagonists. Maybe so even more than the Halloween franchise as I think about it. Nightmare on Elm Street did a really good job with their protagonists, though, so I'm mostly on board with all the Nightmare protagonists. So, yeah, it was interesting to rank them, and love to hear your comments on this. Until next time, you guys take care.